had very much warmed to this type of an affair. As we came down, as we came through the residential area of Dallas, the crowds thinned a little bit. We talked. Again, he was extremely pleased, as was Miss Kennedy, with the reception that they'd had. As we neared downtown Dallas, the crowds became enormous and extremely enthusiastic. As we came down through the main business district of Dallas, I would say we received as warm, as enthusiastic, as spontaneous a reception as we did in any city in this state. And it was really wonderful, to the point where just as we turned down by the courthouse, Nellie turned around and said to the president, she was so impressed by the warmth of the reception, she turned around and said to the president, well, Mr. President, you can't say that Dallas doesn't love you too. And he said, no, I think that's apparent, and or words to that effect. The crowds began to thin, but we were only about 5 minutes from the Trade Mart where the luncheon was to be held. So we all more or less straightened up in the car. I did, I know, and maybe I should explain that a little bit by saying that when you sit for a prolonged period of time, as we were, facing in one direction, acknowledging the crowd, why, when you get an opportunity, when the crowd thins, you kind of shift in the chair and straighten up, and we had just done that. I had, and I heard this shot, and I say shot because I immediately thought it was a shot. I immediately thought it was a rifle shot. Fear just swept through me, and I turned, thinking that the shot had come from back over my right shoulder. So I turned, and I obviously saw nothing but a tremendous crowd of people from where we had just come. And I saw nothing unusual, nothing out of the way, except people also had startled looks on their faces. They were turning, they were looking, and I didn't catch him in the corner of my eye. So I was in the process of turning to my left, and that's when I felt the impact of the bullet that hit me. Went in my back shoulder and came out my chest right here. I felt as if someone had just hit me in the back, a sharp blow with a doubled up fist. It more or less knocked me over, at least enough to where I looked down, and of course I was covered with blood, and frankly thought that I had been fatally hit. I never lost consciousness, and I was lying there and heard the third shot. I heard the third shot very distinctly. I heard it hit. I assumed that it hit the president, and it obviously did. The evidence was splattered all over the car and all over my clothes and all over Nellie, and it was a time of just unbelievable stark tragedy. So many things go through your mind at that moment that I think it's probably impossible to relate at any future time, all the things that you thought. I know I thought, again, I rather assumed, without knowing, that the president had been fatally wounded. And I rather assumed that I had been. And so constantly there was going through my mind thoughts of Nellie, of the children, of what you'd done. And it's really difficult, I think, to try to explain all the things that you wonder about, all the things that you concern yourself with at a time like that.
I just man to see President Kennedy when he rode down this town. I saw that mean old snapper when he carried the president down. There'll be a man just like President Kennedy was. was a man amongst men. Traveled four corners of the world. Sad was
The president died 25 minutes after the shooting at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Too sad, think, boy. Best president we ever had.
The eyes of the nation and the hearts of the nation are with Mrs. Kennedy today, and the eyes of Dallas, Texas are held in shame.
I just saw President Kennedy and the governor of Texas was shaking hands. He said, if I don't get my plan to governor, President Johnson will be the next man. Never be a man, just like President Kennedy was.
What are your first reactions to a tragedy of this sort?
My first reaction, sir, is that I hope these Southerners, these radicals, have satisfied they got their pound of flesh.
He's a man among men. Travel four corners of the world. I went home and I turned on my television. Looking Washington, I saw 6 white horses carrying President Kennedy. To the very man who won't be a man. Just like President Kennedy was.
We do not know if any of the people arrested so far are actually the person who pulled the trigger.
He was a man amongst men in the travel four corners of the world. What it said, I got to use. President Kennedy was dead. Church here don't come from you, flying airplane jets over my head. Never be a man, just like President Kennedy was.
You shoot the president?
I didn't shoot anybody, no, sir.
I heard that on church bell ring.
Full name is Lee Harvey Oswald, O-S-W-A-L-D.
Did you kill the president?
No, I've not been charged with that. In fact, nobody has said that to me yet.
You have been.
Nobody said what?
Sir?
You have been.
Nobody said what? Okay, we ain't hear you, man. Okay, so...
What did you do in right?
Now you know the rooster told her here. Your heads ought to go lay. Said, no, President Kennedy dead. I ain't got nowhere to stay. There'll be a man like President Kennedy was.
Oswald expired at 1:07 p.m. He died.
He was a man amongst men. Travel four corners of the world.
We have not been able to find anyone who saw and recognized Ruby at the time of this transfer.
My heart struck solid. Tears come falling down. When the kid, President Kennedy, let him down in the very ground. Never gonna be a man like President Kennedy was. He was a man amongst men. Four corners, travel of the world. Sad what to say about President Kennedy. Never be another.
Fellow Democrats, with great pride, with great joy, I offer you for the presidency of the United States that son of the Texas hills, that tested and effective servant of the people, a real working leader in a time crying for full-time American leadership, Lyndon B. Johnson of Texas.
Lyndon Baines Johnson war für die Demokraten ein schwieriger Kandidat. Mit seiner Partei hatte er sich häufig überworfen. Aufbrausend war er mürrisch und unberechenbar. 1956 ging er sogar so weit, Eisenhowers Präsidentschaftskandidatur zu unterstützen. Am 22. November 1963 wurde er dennoch zum unangefochtenen Partei- und Staatschef. Das Schicksal machte ihn zum US-Präsidenten.